Hello friends, welcome to Ashok IT, and today we are going to discuss top 20 core Java frequently asked questions. So let's start. Question number first, what is JDK, JRE and JVM? JDK is what? Java Development Kit. It contains JRE plus some development tools. JDK it is used to develop a application. It contains different tools which are required to develop the Java application. JRE, Java Runtime Environment. It is a software package that provides Java classes, then Java virtual machine, and other components that are required to run Java application. JVM, Java virtual machine. Java virtual machine, when you run the Java program, Java compiler first compiles your Java code to bytecode, and then the JVM translate your bytecode into native machine code. That's why this machine code, whatever generated by this JVM, it executed by operating system. JVM makes your Java as a platform independent, but JVM itself platform dependent. Question number 2, can I execute a Java program without main method? Yes. Prior to JDK 7, we can execute a program without main method with the help of static block, because JVM loads class, then it executes static blocks, and then it will look for the main method. If main method is not found, it will throw an exception. But after JDK 7, it is compulsory to add main method in your program. That's why main method is mandatory after JDK 7. Question number 3, what are access modifiers in Java? There are 4 access modifiers in Java: public, private, protected, and default. You can refer this table for more information. Private. The access level of a private modifier is only within the class. It cannot be accessed from outside the class. Default. The access level of a default modifier is only within the package. It can be accessed from outside the package. If you do not specify any access level, it will be the default. Protected. The access level of a protected modifier is within the package and outside the package through child class. If you do not make the child class, it cannot be accessed from outside the package. Public. The access level of a public modifier is everywhere. It can be accessed from within the class, outside the class, or within the package and outside the package. Question number 4. Is it possible to overload main method in Java application? Yes, we can overload main method in Java. A Java class can have any number of overloaded main methods. But first of all, Java virtual machine finds original main method. Original main method means a main method with the syntax of public static void main and which accept string type of array. And then if you don't provide this method, this original main method, your class will get compiled, but it won't run without main method. Question number 5. Why multiple inheritance is not supported in Java? To avoid diamond problem, to avoid ambiguity in Java application. We'll take one example. If you see in this diagram, this class Z, it extends class X and class Y. Class X and class Y both are having same method yum1 with same method signature, but its implementation is different. So at that time, Java compiler cannot decide which yum1 method it should inherit. So it creates ambiguity. To prevent such type of situation, to avoid this diamond problem, to avoid this ambiguity, multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. Question number 6. Does abstract class have constructors? And if yes, then why? Yes, because we need to initialize the non-abstract methods as well as instance variable. Therefore, there should be constructor for an abstract class. An abstract class can have a constructor. You can either explicitly provide a constructor to the abstract class, or if you don't provide, the compiler will automatically add default constructor. And the constructor of subclass will invoke that constructor of the superclass, either implicitly or explicitly. As well as chaining of constructor is one of the reasons behind these abstract classes can have a constructors. Question number 7. What is constructor? Constructor is a special type of method which is having same name as your class name, and it does not have any return type, not even void also. Or you can say constructor is a special method which is having same name as your class name, and constructor is used to construct the values for objects. Question number 8. What is final and why it is required? Final is a keyword. Final can be used with variable and method and classes. When you use this final keyword with variable, the final variable cannot be reinitialized with another value. When you are using this final keyword with main method, then the final method cannot be overridden. And when you are using this final keyword with class, the final class cannot be extended. Question number 9. What is exception and explain its types? An exception is an event which occurs during the execution of a program, and due to that exception, normal flow of that program disturbs. So exception is what? It is an unexpected event which occurs during the program execution, and it will affect the flow of your program instructions. Here, the throwable class is the root class in this hierarchy. There are two types of exceptions: checked exception and unchecked exception. Checked exception, they are also called as compile time exceptions, and they are checked by the compiler at compile time only. And then the programmer is prompted to handle this type of exceptions. If you take one example, trying to open a file and does not exist, then it will return file not found exception. Second type, runtime exception. Runtime exception, it is also known as unchecked exception. Unchecked exception, we can take one example for that: null pointer exception. These exceptions are not checked at compile time, but they will checked at runtime. Question number 10. What is difference between string buffer and string builder class? String is immutable class. Immutable means you can't change. Where string buffer and string builder, these two classes are mutable classes. Another difference, string buffer is synchronized class, where string builder is non-synchronized. Synchronized means string buffer is thread safe, where string builder is not thread safe. Question number 11. What is functional interface? Functional interface which contains only one abstract method, that interface is called as functional interface. And that functional interface is also known as single abstract method interface, or you can say SAM. And its functional interface, it can contain default and static method. We can take one example, this callable and runnable. These are the built-in functional interfaces available in Java. If you want to use this functional interface, you can use functional interface annotation. Question number 12. What is stream API? Stream is a sequence of element which is taken from source. The source can be your collection or array. A stream in Java can be defined as a sequence of elements from a source, and the source of elements we can refer as a collection and or array. And this stream, they are used to perform complex operation on this collection. Which type of operations? Filtering, sorting, mapping. This type of operations can be performed on this collection. A stream is not a data structure, and it is designed for lambdas. Stream do not support index access also. Question number 30. What is different between constructor and methods? Constructor has same name as class name, where method can assign any name to you can assign any name to a method. Constructor does not have any return type, but method can have any return type. Why constructors are used? They are used for initializing the objects, where methods, they are mainly used to reuse the code without writing that code again. Constructor, they are implicitly invoked by the system, where method is called by the programmer. Right? The new keyword plays an important role in invoking the constructor, where method calls are responsible for invoking methods. These are some differences of constructor and method. Question number 14. What is serialization? Serialization is a process of converting an object into a byte stream. So serialization in Java, it can be implemented using java.io.serializable interface. Why the serialization is used? Serialization mechanism is usually used when there is no need to send your data or your you can say your objects over the network or to store in a files. Now the hardware components like network infrastructure, hard disk understands only bytes and bits, not the Java objects. So serialization is used in this case, which translate Java object state to byte stream and it can be sent it over the network. Question number 15. How to handle exception in Java? The try catch is the simplest method of handling exception. Put the code you want to run in the try block, and any Java exception that the code throws are caught by one or more catch blocks. The first catch block that handles the exception class or one of its superclasses will be executed. So make sure if you want to use this catch the most specific class first. Question number 16. What is difference between list and set? List, it allows to add the same or duplicate element, where the set does not allow duplicate elements. In list, the insertion order is maintained, where in set, insertion order is not maintained. List allows us to add any number of null values, but set allows us to add at least one null value only. The list implementation classes are linked list, array list, and set implementation classes are trace set, hash set, linked hash set. So this list, it is used when we want to frequently access the elements by using the index, and set is used when we want to design a collection of distinct elements. Question number 17. What is synchronization? Synchronization is a process of controlling shared resource accessibility by multiple thread requests at a time. In Java, synchronization refers to the ability to control the access of multiple threads to any shared resource. It is an ideal option where we want to allow only one thread to access the shared resource. There are two types of synchronization in Java: process synchronization and thread synchronization. Question number 18. What is difference between throws and throw keyword? The throw keyword is used inside a function. It is used when it is required to throw an exception logically. And the throws keyword is used in the function signature. It is used when the function has some statements that can lead to exception. Again, the throw keyword is used to throw an exception explicitly. It can throw only one exception at a time, where the throws keyword can be used to declare multiple exceptions, and they are separated by a comma. Whichever exception occur, if matched with the declared one, it throws automatically. Throw keyword can propagate checked exception. It is only used to propagate the unchecked exceptions that are not checked using throws keyword, and where throws keyword is used to propagate the checked exceptions only. These are the differences. Question number 19. What is marker interface? Marker interface, it is also known as tagged interface. The marker interface in Java, it is an interface with no field or no method, or in simple words, you can say it's an empty interface in Java. That's why it is called marker interface. There are some examples of marker interface: serializable, clonable, remote. These are the examples. They are used to indicate something to compiler. They are used to indicate something to JVM. If JVM says one class implements clonable, it performs some operations to support cloning. Question number 20. What is difference between method overloading and method overriding? Method overloading is performed within a class only. Method overriding occurs between parent and child class. In method overloading, parameter must be different, where in method overriding, parameter must be same. In method overloading, or we can say method overloading is an example of compile time polymorphism, where method overriding is example of runtime polymorphism. In method overloading, return type can be same or different. And in method overriding, return time must be same or covariant in method overriding. So these are the top 20 core Java interview questions. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to our channel for more updates. Thank you. Hello friends, welcome to Ashok IT, and today we are going to discuss top 20 Java 8 features frequently asked questions. So let's start. Question number 1. What is lambda expression? So lambda expression, it is introduced in Java 1.8 feature. Lambda expression, you can say it is an anonymous function. Anonymous function means a function without name. You can say anonymous function or lambda expression. So what are the characteristics of lambda expression? Lambda expression, it has no name, no modifier, no return type. It is used to work with functional programming. If you observe in this diagram, when you are writing a method, we have declared that method and its implementation. With lambda expression is nothing but this parenthesis, it indicates argument list, arrow, it indicates relation between this parameter and its body. Lambda expression is, as I told, it's an anonymous function. So no need to define the data type of input parameters and does not need to have a return type. Question number 2, what is functional interface? Functional interface, it is also known as single abstract method interface, which contains only one abstract method. Functional interface in Java enables users to implement functional programming in Java, and functional interface can contain only one abstract method and it can contain any number of static and default methods. So if you want to use functional interface, you can use @functional interface annotation. Let's take some examples. Runnable and callable, these are the predefined functional interface which are available in Java. Question number 3, what is method reference feature in Java 8? Method reference is nothing but it is a shortened version of lambda expression for calling a specific method. There are different types of method references. As you can see in this table, reference to a static method. For the syntax of these, containing class, double colon, and static method name. Reference to an instance method containing object, double colon, and instance method. Reference to an instance method of an arbitrary object of a particular type containing type, double colon, and method name. If you want to refer to a constructor, then class name, double colon, and new. So method reference is nothing but we can call another method with the help of this lambda expression. Lambda expression, its method reference is what? It is a shortened version of this lambda expression. To implement functional interface, we can use this method reference also. With the help of this double colon operator, as you can see in this table. Question number 4, what is optional? Optional is a class in Java which is defined in the java.util package. Option is a container object which may or may not contain a non-null value. If you want to use this optional class, you have to import java.util package in your class. If a value is present, each present method will return true and get will return the value, or else which returns a default value if the value is not present. You can refer this program. Question number 5, why Stream API is required? Stream API is nothing but it is a sequence of elements from a source, and that source can be collection or array, anything. After that, on that source, it will perform complex operations such as the filtering of the data, mapping of data, sorting of that data. So streams are required to perform such kind of operations. Stream conveys elements from a source. That source, as I told you, it can be collection or array. In fact, strings are functional in nature, and an operation on a stream produces a result but does not modify its source. For example, when we are filtering a stream content from a collection, it has a new stream. Let's take question number 6. What is collectors in Java 8? Collectors is a final class in Java 8 which extends object class. Collection is one of the utility class in JDK which contains a lot of utility functions. It contains all static methods. It is mostly used in Stream API as a final step. And a collector is a Java construct to use a conjunction with streams in order to turn a stream into a whatever you like. Built-in collector, you can say to list or to set. To list, it will end up everything in a list. And if you are using to set, it will end up everything in a set. As you can see in this program, this list, it converted into stream with the help of map. A transformation of data has performed, and at last the collect method, it will collect that result to list with the help of this collectors class. Question number 7, what is difference between map and flat map? Let's take this difference. Let's understand this difference. Map. So map, it processes stream of values, and flat map, it processes stream of values. Function passed to a map operation returns a single value for a single input, where this flat map method, the function you pass to flat map operation returns an arbitrary number of values, 0 or more, as the output for a single value. If you are using flat map method, one-to-one mapping occurs. and for flat map, one to many mapping occurs. If you are using map method, it only performs mapping, but if you are using flat map method, it will perform mapping as well as flattening. Question number 8. What is default method in interface? Default method were introduced in Java 8 again, and it is introduced to provide backward compatibility so that existing interface can use the lambda expression without implementing the methods in the implementation class. So these default methods, they are also known as defender methods or virtual methods. Question number 9. What is filter method in Java 8? Filter method, it accepts predicate as an input. It accepts one condition provided by the program. On that condition, it will filter the data. Stream filter, it accepts like predicate. It returns a stream consisting of the elements of this stream that match the given predicate. And this is an intermediate operation. These operations are always lazy. That is, executing an intermediate operation such as a filter does not actually perform any filtering, but instead creates a new stream that, when traversed, contains the elements of the initial stream that match the given predicate. You can see this example. Question number 10. What are the core API classes for date and time in Java 8? There are three main API classes: local date, local time, local date and time. Here, local date class is used to represent a date in the format of ISO. It does not include time or it does not support time zone. Local time, the local time class is used to represent time. And local date time class, yes, the local date time class is a combination of the local date and local time class. A local date time class instance contains a date component and a time component as well. Question number 11. Is it possible to add a static method to interface using Java 8? Yes, of course, you can add static method to a interface in Java 8. Before Java 8, we are not able to add any static method in our interface. But in Java 8, we are able to add the static method in an interface. You can observe this example. In this example, interface static method example, it contains that static method, and in this class, you can use that method, and this static method class, it provides implementation to this abstract method. So here it is possible to add static method in an interface. This static method contains the complete definition of the functions, and since the definition is complete and the method is static, therefore these methods cannot be overridden or changed in the implementation class. They will use as it is. Question number 12. What is consumer in Java 8? Consumer is a single argumental functional interface present in Java 8. The consumer interface is a part of java.util.function package, which has been introduced in Java 8. To implement functional programming, we can use this consumer interface. It represents a function which takes in one argument and produces a result. However, this kind of functions don't return any value. Here, if you observe this consumer class, consumer interface, it contains this except method. Yes, question number 13. What are some of the example of terminal operations in Java 8? What is terminal operation? The terminal operation starts the stream and returns a result that depends on the stream pipeline and content. So these are the some methods: count, mean, max, reduce, to array, any batch, all batch. These are the some examples of this terminal operation method in Java 8. Question number 14. How to find and remove duplicate element from a list using Java 8? Duplicate element can be listed and removed easily by applying stream operation and performing a collection. In this example, you can see array, it converted to list, and with the help of the stream method, stream is generated. With the help of distinct, distinct will return unique element from the list. And with the help of collectors to list, again here, this to list method, it will end up everything with the list. Here collector class is used. So with the help of, after performing a collection, we can find, we can generate new list of the unique elements. Question number 15. What is the easiest way to convert an array into string in Java 8? With the help of method, we can create a string from given array. Here, if you observe in this given program, string.of method is used to convert given array to string. And with the help of for each method, we can traverse element from that string. With the help of method reference, we are printing here. You can refer this program with output also. Question number 16. What is difference between collection API and stream API? Most important question. Collection API. Collection are used to store and group the data in a particular data structure. It can be array list, or it can be linked list, right? Different data structure used internally. Where stream API, they are used to perform complex operation on the data, like different complex operation like filtering, sorting, mapping. This kind of operation can be performed on that data. Within collection, as we know, we can add or remove data from the collection. Either it is a set, list, or anything. You can add or remove data from that collection. But in stream, you cannot add or remove data from that collection. In collection API, collections have to be iterated externally. And we can use iterator, list iterator to iterate elements from a collection, where the streams are internally iterated. In collection API, collections can be traversed multiple times. But in stream API, the streams are traversable only once. These are some differences from collection API and stream API. Question number 17. Given a list of integers, find out all the even numbers exist in the list using stream function. You can observe here again, this list is converted to string, and with the help of filter method. With the help of this filter method, which is used for filtering data, here we can use this method to find the even numbers from the given list. And again, with the help of for each method, we can traverse, and with the help of method reference, we can print the output. Question number 18. Given list of integers, find the total number of elements present in the list using string function. With the help of string method, we can create string from given list. With the help of count method, this count method, it is terminal, which perform terminal operation. It returns count of elements in the string. As we know, the count is terminal operation. It may traverse the string and it will produce the result. Question number 19. Given a list of integers, sort all the values present in it using string function. We want to sort whatever the numbers are available in that list. If you want to sort numbers from a list, we can use sorted method. After converting string, we will apply sorted method on that string, which will sorted is an intermediate operation again. It will not generate final result. And the sorted method, again, we will after sorted method, what it will do? It will return sorted elements in their natural order. With the help of for each method, we will iterate the elements and again we'll print it. Question number 20. Given an employee class, identify employees who is having salary greater than 50,000, and we want to display name of that employee. Not all detail, we just want to display their names. Here in this example, we need to use filter as well as map method. Filter method is used for filtering the data, and map is used for transforming the data. Here from this object, this is a list of employee object. From that object, from that list which contain employee objects, we'll create a string. With the help of filter method, we'll filter employees whose salary is greater than 50,000, and with the help of map, we will transform the data and we will display that name of the employees. So all these are the top 20 Java 8 feature frequently asked questions. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe to our channel for more updates. Welcome to Ashok IT. Again, I am Patil Sheetal and come up with top 25 multi-threading questions. Hello friends, welcome to Ashok IT. Today we are going to discuss top 25 exception handling frequently asked questions. So let's start. What is exception? An exception is an event which occurs during the execution of a program that disturbs the normal flow of the program instructions. When an error occurs within a method, the method creates an object and hands it to runtime system. So if you are not handling this exception properly, our program will get terminated abnormally. Question number 2, how the exceptions are handled in Java? Exceptions are handled in Java using try, catch, and finally blocks. Try block, the code or set of statements which are to be monitored for exceptions are kept in this block. Catch block, this block catches the exceptions occurred in the try block. And finally block, this block is always executed whether exception is occurred in the try block or not, and occurred exception is caught in the catch block or not. You can see this example. Question number 3. What is unreachable catch block error? If you keep superclasses first and subclasses later, compiler will show unreachable catch block error. So when you are keeping multiple catch blocks, the order of catch blocks must be from most specific to general one. That is, subclasses of exceptions must come first and superclasses later. You can observe in this program, this exception EX, this is what? Generic exception. Number format exception is a specific exception. So specific exceptions comes before general exception. Question number 4. What are checked and unchecked exceptions in Java? Checked exceptions are these exceptions which are known to the compiler, and that's why they are known as compile time exception, because these exceptions are checked at compile time only. What are the examples of these compile time exceptions or checked exception? File not found exception, IO exception, SQL exception, class not found exception. These are the some examples of this checked exception. Unchecked exception. Unchecked exceptions are those exceptions which are not visible to, which are not known to the compiler. And these exceptions occur only at runtime. So these exceptions are also known as runtime exceptions. And also all subclasses of java.lang.runtime exception and java.lang.error are unchecked exceptions. What are the examples? Null pointer exception, arithmetic exception, class cast exception, array index out of bounds exception, etc. Question number 5. What is finally in Java? A finally block is always executed whether an exception is handled or not. The finally block always executes when the try block exists. This ensures that the final is executed even if an unexpected exception occurs. But final is useful for more than just exception handling. It allows the programmer to avoid having cleanup code accidentally bypassed by a return or continue or break statement. The finally block may not execute if the JVM exits while the try or catch code is being executed. If you observe in this program, finally block is always get executed, either that exception occurred or not. Question number 6. Does finally block get executed if either try or catch blocks are returning the control? Yes. Finally block will be always executed no matter whether the try or catch blocks are returning the control or not. Okay. Question number 7. Can we throw an exception manually? And if yes, how? Yes, we can throw an exception manually using throw keyword. And what syntax you can use? Throw instance of throwable type. You can observe this example here at line number 4. Throw new arithmetic exception. This is what we are throwing that exception manually. Which exception? Arithmetic exception. How? What is the syntax? Throw then instance of throwable type. Question number 8. What is rethrowing an exception in Java? An exception can be rethrown in a catch block. This action will cause the exception to be passed to the calling method. If the rethrow operation occurs in the main method, then exception is passed to the JVM and displayed on the console. The purpose of the rethrow option is to get the attention of the outside world that an exception has occurred. And the rethrow expression, it causes the originally thrown object to be rethrown. If you observe in this example, we are rethrowing the exception in main method. Question number 9. What is the difference between final, finally, and finalize in Java? This is the most important question. At last, in every interview, this question may be asked. What is the difference? Let's discuss this table. Final, finally, finalize. Final. It is used to make a variable or a method or class as unchangeable. If we used with variable, that variable become constant. If we used with method, we cannot override. If we use with the class cannot be extended. And finally is a block in a Java which is used for exception handling. This block is always get executed, either exception is handled or not. And finalize, it is used to perform some cleanup operations on an object before it is removed from the memory. Before cleanup operation, before that object is removed from memory, to perform these cleanup operations, to closing the connections or to closing the files, closing IO connection, database connection, all those activities performed before that object is removed from the memory. Question number 10. What is the difference between throws and throwable? Throw is a keyword in Java which is used to throw an exception manually, where this throws keyword in Java which is used in the method signature to indicate that this method may mention exception. And throwable is what? It is a superclass for all classes. It is a base class in that hierarchy. When you are using this throw keyword, you can throw an exception from any method or block, but that exception must be type of java.lang.throwable class or its subclass. The call for this throws, the caller to such method must handle the mentioned exception either using try catch block or using throws keyword. And throwable is what? Only instances of this class or its subclasses are thrown by the Java virtual machine. Question number 11. Can we override a superclass method which is throwing an unchecked exception with the checked exception in the subclass? No, we cannot override a superclass method which is throwing an unchecked exceptions with the checked exceptions in the subclass. Question number 12. Which class is the superclass for all type of errors and exception in Java? Which class? Then throwable, which is available in java.lang package. It is a base class for all type of exceptions. Question number 13. Do you know try with resources blocks? Why do we use them and when they are introduced? Yes, I know this try with resources. It is introduced from Java 7. Why it is introduced? To close the resources like file IO streams, database connections, network connections, which are used in the try block. You can see this example also. You need not to close the resources explicitly in your code. Try with resources implicitly closes all the resources which are used in the try block. And the main benefit of this try with resources is that it avoids the resource leak that could happen if we don't close the resources properly after using them. If you observe this, here in the try block, we use this resource, that is file read. Question number 14. Is it possible to throw an exception inside a Lambda expressions body? Yes, it is possible. However, we need to note down 2 points. What are these points? If we are using a standard functional interface that is given by Java, then we can throw only unchecked exceptions. And this is because the standard functional interface of Java do not have a throws clause, which is defined in their signature. For example, we can throw illegal argument exception inside a functional interface. And what is point number 2? If we are using custom functional interfaces, then we can throw checked as well as unchecked exceptions, and custom functional interfaces can be defined with the help of what? @functional interface key. Question number 15. What is the difference between exception and error in Java? Errors typically happens while an exception is running. And for instance, out of memory error, which occurs in the JVM, and it will run out of memory. On the other hand, exceptions are mainly caused by the application. For instance, if we take one example, null pointer exception, which happens when an application tries to get to a null object. Question number 16. What do you mean by class cast exception? So class cast exception in Java is one of the unchecked exception that occurs when we try to convert one class type object into another class type object. You can observe this program code. Here we are trying to convert this object to string. So this class cast exception is thrown to indicate that the code has attempted to cast an object to a subclass of which is not an instance. You can observe this example. Question number 17. What is exception propagation? Exception propagation in Java, it occurs when an exception thrown from the top of the stack. When it is not caught, the exception drops down to the call stack of the preceding method. If it is not caught there, it further drops down to the previous method. And this continues until the method reaches the bottom of the call stack or it's caught somewhere in between. Question number 18. What are the methods provided by the throwable class in Java? So these are the some methods which are provided by throwable class in Java. They're like get message, toString, print stack trace, fill in stack trace, get stack trace, get clause. These are the different methods. Question number 19. Explain stack trace in Java and why it is important in exception handling. The stack trace, also called the backtrace, it is also called as backtrace, consists of a collection of stack records which store an application's movement during its execution. And the stack trace includes information about the program subroutines and can be used to debug or troubleshoot, and it is often used to create the log files. In the okay. Question number 20. What are the advantages of using exception handling in your program? There are different advantages. Let's talk about them. Meaningful error reporting. It will provide meaningful reporting, improve the readability and maintainability of the code. It allows for more accurate error reporting. It also facilitates debugging and troubleshooting. It also improves the security of the program and enables the use of error recovery mechanism. Question number 21. How to create user-defined exception in Java? Java provides us the facility to create our own exception, which are basically derived classes of exception. You can observe in this program. Here, this invalid credential exception, this class, it extends exception. So, invalid credential exception is what? Our custom exception. So, creating our own exception is known as custom exception, or it is also called as user-defined exception. In this case, invalid credential exception, it is our user-defined exception. So, basically, Java, custom exceptions, why they are used? To customize the exceptions according to the user's need. And here in the second screenshot, you can observe this invalid credential exception is used in the try block. Question number 22. How to catch multiple exceptions using single catch block. Multiple exceptions in a catch block, it is introduced in Java 7 and it will help to optimize the code, right? In Java ES7 and later, we can now catch more than one type of exception in a single catch block. And each exception type that can be handled by the catch block is separated by using the vertical bar, or you can say pipe. And catching multiple exceptions in a single catch block reduces the code duplication and increases efficiency. In this program, this catch block, it handles arithmetic exception as well as array index out of bounds exception. If we are using arithmetic exception, array index out of bounds exception, and one more exception, which is your generic exception, what will be the sequence then? Arithmetic exception, array index out of bounds exception, at last one more pipe and exception, that is your general exception. So what is the sequence? Again, same. Specific exceptions first, then you can use generic exception. Question number 23. What is the difference between class not found exception and no class definition found error in Java? Okay, so class not found exception, it is an exception and it is a type of java.lang.exception. And no class definition found error, it is an error and it is type of java.lang.error. When this class not found exception occurs, when an application tries to load a class at runtime which is not updated in class path. And when this no class definition found error occurs, when Java runtime system does not find a class definition which is present in the compile time but missing at runtime. Class not found exception, it is thrown by the exception itself, and it is thrown by the methods like class.forName or load class and find system class. And this class, no class definition found error, it is thrown by the Java runtime system. Class not found exception occurs when class path is not updated with the required jar files. And no class definition found error, it occurs when required class definition is missing at runtime. Okay. Question number 24. How to handle null pointer exception in Java 8? Java 8 introduced new feature, that is class optional, where this class is available in java.util package. Optional is a container object that can contain a non-null or null value. It basically checks whether the memory address has an object or not. And if a value is present will return true and get will return the value. And additionally, the methods that depend on the presence or absence of a content value are provided, like or else, and this or else method, which returns default value if value is there and not present, and if present, which executes a block of code if the value is present. What is stack overflow error? The java.lang.stack overflow error indicates that the application stack has been exhausted, which is frequently the result of deep or infinite recursion. In this example, you can say this A method is frequently called. It is recursive. Recursively, we are calling this A method, which causes stack overflow error. Right? It extends the virtual machine error class, the stack overflow class. It extends virtual machine error class, which signals that the JVM has failed or has run out of sources and it is unable to run. So all these are the top 25 questions from exception handling. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to our channel for more. Hello friends, welcome to Ashok IT. Again, I am Patil Sheetal and come up with top 25 multi-threading questions. So let's start. What is multi-threading in Java? As the name suggests, it is the ability of a CPU to execute multiple threads independently at the same time, but share the process resources simultaneously. Its main purpose is to provide simultaneous execution of multiple threads to utilize the CPU time as much as possible. If you observe in this diagram, this process is divided into different threads. It is a Java feature where one process can subdivide the specific program into two or more threads to make the execution of the program fast and easy. Question number 2. What is thread in Java? Threads are basically the lightweight and smallest unit of a processing that can be managed independently by the scheduler. Right? The threads are referred to as a part of a process that simply let a program execute efficiently with other part of threads of the process at the same time. Using threads, one can perform a complicated task in the easiest way. It is considered the simplest way to take advantage of multiple CPU available in a machine. They are the common address space and are independent of each other. Question number 3. What are the two ways of implementing thread in Java? There are two ways: by extending thread class or by implementing runnable interface. Your thread must extend thread class and override run method. If you are using first way, extending thread class, then your thread must extend thread class and override run method. Whatever the task which you want to perform by this thread, keep the task in the overridden run method. Runnable interface has only one method, that is run method. Your thread class must implement runnable interface and override run method and keep the task to be performed in this run method. Whenever you want to perform this task, create an object to java.lang.thread class by passing an object of your thread class which implements the runnable interface and then call start. Question number 4. How many types of threads are available in Java? And explain. There are two types of threads in Java: user thread and daemon thread. User threads are the threads which are created by the application or user. They are high priority threads. JVM will not exit until all user threads finish their work. JVM will wait for user threads to finish their task, and these threads are foreground threads. And daemon threads are the threads which are mostly created by the JVM, and these threads always run in background, most important. And these threads are used to perform some background task like your garbage collection. And these threads are less priority threads. JVM will not wait for these threads to finish their execution. JVM will exit as soon as all threads finish their execution. Question number 5. What is the differentiate between creating thread using runnable interface and extending thread class? So when you are implementing a class with the help of this, when you are creating a thread by implementing runnable interface, then you can extend any other class also. But if you are creating a thread with extending a thread class, then you cannot extend any other class. As we know, multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. That's why we are using inheritance. If you are using runnable interface, then you can extend one or more classes. But if you are extending thread class, you cannot extend any other class. If you are implementing runnable interface, you can extend n number of classes. No override of additional methods. It gives some additional methods from thread class. When you are using implementing runnable interface, separate the task from the runner, and it does not separate the task from the runner. It is an object oriented practice, and extend threads, it's not an object oriented practice. If implements runnable, it is loosely coupled. Where extends threads, it's tightly coupled. Question number 6. Can we change the name of the main thread? If yes, and how? Yes, we can change the name of main thread also. Right? How you can change? With the help of setName method. Right? Current.thread, it will return your current thread. And with the help of setName method, we can change name of the main method also. Question number 7. Do two threads can have same name? How do you identify the threads having the same name? Yes, in your program, two threads can have same name. And two threads which are having same name, they can be identified by their thread ID, because thread ID is unique log number which remains unchanged throughout of the life of a thread, and thread ID can be retrieved using get ID. Question number 8. What are mean priority, norm priority, and max priority? Mean priority, normal priority, and max priority, these are the constant fields which are defined in the java.lang.thread class, and which defines lowest, normal, and highest priority of a thread separately, respectively. Mean priority. Mean priority is what? It defines the lowest priority that has a thread can have, and its value is 1. Norm priority, it defines the normal priority that a thread can have, and its value is 5. Max priority, it defines the highest priority thread that a thread can have, and its value is 10. So, mean priority value is 1, norm priority value is 5, and max priority value is 10. Question number 9. What is the default priority of a thread? Can we change it? If yes, how? If you are not setting any priority, then default priority of a thread is parent priority, or it's 5. And if you want to change that priority, then you can use set priority. Question number 10. What is the priority of main thread, and can we change it? The normal priority of a main thread is always non-priority. No, that is 5. Yes, if you want to change the priority of a main thread, then you can use this get priority method. With the with the help of set priority method, you can change the priority of a main method also. And same, if you want to change priority of other threads also, same here, with the help of set priority, you can change the priority of any thread. Question number 11. What is the purpose of join method? Join is a final method of thread class, and it can be used to join the start of a thread's execution to the end of another thread's execution, so that a thread will not start running until another thread has ended. You can observe in this program that here two thread T1 started and T1 joins, and with the help of this join, other threads will join the another thread. So, if the join method is called on a thread instance, the currently running thread will block until the thread instance has finished executing. What is synchronization? Synchronization, we can make the threads to execute particular method or block in a sync, not simultaneously. Through synchronization, we can make the threads to execute particular method or block simultaneously, not simultaneously. When a method or block is declared as a synchronized, only one thread can enter into that method or block. When one thread is executing synchronized method or block, the other threads which want to execute that method or block, they have to wait until first thread executes that method or block, thus avoiding the thread interference and achieving the thread safeness. We can use this synchronization. Question number 13. What is the use of synchronized block? Synchronization slows down the application because at any given time, only one thread can enter into synchronized method. Other threads have to wait until first threader finish its execution of that method. This slows down the execution of whole application. Instead of synchronizing the whole method, synchronizing the only that part of which to be monitored or thread saves the time. This can be done by using this synchronized block. Question number 14. Is it possible to make constructor synchronize? Not possible. Synchronized keyword cannot be used with constructors, but constructors can have synchronized blocks. Question number 15. Can we use synchronized keyword with variables? No, you can't use synchronized keyword with variables. You can use synchronized keyword only with methods, but not with variable, constructor, static initializer, and instance initializers. Question number 16. Synchronized methods or synchronized blocks, which one do you prefer? Synchronized blocks are better than synchronized methods, because synchronizing some part of a method improves the performance than synchronizing the whole method. Question number 17. What is the difference between wait and sleep method in Java? Right. So wait method, the thread which calls wait method releases the lock it holds. Sleep method, the thread which calls sleep method doesn't release the lock it holds. Wait method, the thread regains the lock after other threads call either notify or notify all method on that same lock. So sleep, no question of regaining the lock as thread doesn't release the lock. And in wait method must be called within the synchronized block, but sleep method can be called within or outside the synchronized block. Wait method is a member of java.lang.object class, where the sleep method is a member of java.lang.thread class. And so this wait method is always called on objects, where the sleep method is always called on thread. Question number 18. What is the difference between interrupted and is interrupted method? Both is interrupted and interrupted methods are used to check whether a particular thread is interrupted or not. Both these threads return current interrupt status of a thread. Is interrupted is a non-static method, where interrupted is a static method. The main difference between these two methods is that interrupted doesn't clear the interrupt status, whereas interrupted method clears the interrupt status. Question number 19. Explain the thread lifecycle or explain thread states in Java. What are the states? New, runnable, running, waiting, and terminated. You can see this diagram. New, a thread will be in this state before calling start method. Runnable, a thread will be in this state after calling the start method. Blocked or waiting, a thread will be in this state when the thread is waiting for object lock to enter into synchronized method or block, or a thread will be in this same state if deadlock occurs. And then running when your thread is in actual execution. And terminated, a thread will be in this state once it finishes its execution. Question number 20. Can we call start method twice? No, start method must be called only once. Because if you call start method second time, it will throw an illegal thread state exception as thread is already started. So you cannot call start method twice. Question number 21. Differentiate between start and run method. Start method, new thread is created. When you call this run method, no new thread is created. When you call this start method, newly created thread execute task kept in a run method. And run, calling thread itself execute task kept in a run method. Start method is a member of java.lang.thread class, where this run method is a member of java.lang.runnable interface. You can't call start method more than once. You cannot call, in previous example, we have seen, we cannot call start method twice, but you can call run method multiple times. Start method is used in multi-threaded programming, where run method, it's used in multi-threading programming concept, as well as we can use it to call that threads. We can use this run method to execute threads. Question number 22. What will be happen if you don't override the thread class run method? Nothing will happen as such if you don't override the run method. The compiler will not show any error. It will execute the run method of the thread class, and we will just don't get any output because run method is with an empty implementation. You can see in this diagram. Observe this program. Then it will execute a run method, or it does not show, means this run method will execute with an empty implement. What is executor framework? Question number 23. What is executor framework? The executor framework contains a bunch of components that are used to efficiently manage work threads. The executor API decouple the execution of a task from the actual task to be executed via executors. This design is one of the implementation of producer-consumer pattern. And the java.util.concurrent executors provide factory method which are be able to create thread pool of worker threads. To use the executor framework, we need not to create one such a thread pool and then submit a task to it for execution. It is the job of the executor framework to schedule and execute the submitted task and return the result from the thread pool. Question number 24. Explain volatile variables in Java. A volatile variable is basically a keyword that is used to ensure that address the visibility of changes to variable in multi-threaded programming. This keyword cannot be used with classes and method, instead of can be used with variables. It is simply used to achieve thread safety. If you mark any variable as a volatile, then all the threads can read its value directly from the main memory rather than CPU cache, so that each thread can get updated value of the variable. Question number 25. What is deadlock? See, synchronized keyword we can use. Why we use synchronized keyword? To make the class or method thread safe, which means only thread can have lock synchronized method and use it. Other threads have to wait till the lock release and anyone of them acquire that lock. It is important to use in our program. It's running in multi-threaded environment where 2 or more threads execute simultaneously, but sometimes it causes this deadlock situation. Deadlock can occur in a situation where a thread is waiting for an object lock that is acquired by another thread, and second thread is waiting for an object lock that is acquired by first one. Since both threads are waiting for each other to release the lock, and this condition is called as deadlock. So these are the top 25 multi-threading questions. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe to our channel for more updates. Thank you.